What's good, y'all? Basically, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna talk about his. I'm gonna talk about Leonardo, talk a little bit about his moves, his neutral, where I think he's gonna land in the meta in a few years. You know, simple stuff like that. And I'm just gonna put some B-roll footage off of it, and I'm just gonna kind of ramble off. I'm assuming you understand all the basics, like how to drop through platforms, how to wave dash, all that stuff. At least the basics, maybe a little bit of intermediate mechanics, nothing advanced. So with that being said, let's go for it. Basically, what I want to start off saying is, to preface this point I'm about to make, there's 3 general areas on stage. Now there are sub areas, but generally speaking, it's 3 areas: air, off stage, and the ground. So that means there's airplay, off stage play, and ground play. Where Leonardo really excels is with airplay, because like he's able to jump around, use light down air and strong down air to just play around in neutral and things like that. And in this order, I think he excels in these places: air, off stage, ground. Now the reason why I say that he's the worst on the ground, he's not bad on the ground, but I would say compared to how he is in the air, he's bad on the ground, because on the ground, like, his good options feel limited. Now, granted, he does have the like certain tools like up tilt, because like his down tilt, looking at the trailers and stuff like that, you would think it's good, but it's really not, because whenever he down tilts, how do I put this? Like if he was to actually hit you with it, the end lag on the end of the down tilt would make it not worth it, versus using dash attack, which hits the same exact place and a little bit higher, and has mostly similar combos, and is also cancelable. Versus down tilt, you hit it, it's really hard to combo off of. So down tilt, I would recommend any combos you find with down tilt, just figure out the spacing on how to do them with dash attack, since you can cancel it into like a jump, another attack, whatever. You can even, I'm not sure about this, so don't quote me on this, but I believe you can cancel light dash attack and the strong dash attack, but not reverse. I could be wrong, but that's what I believe. Now, one thing I want to say about his moves, like going back to, well, something I should say, I want to say about his moves, going back to his moves, is that like his most useful attacks are all in the air. So light down air, strong down air, light and strong forward air. His up air, yeah, I would say it's a little bit useful, but his up air is mostly like a combo move. I wouldn't say it's more so of a move that you would like bust out while you're in neutral to try and do something crazy, or if somebody's on a platform above you, you try and up air them. Even if someone is on a platform above you, I think you'd be better off jumping in forward airing or jumping in down airing, so that they'll bounce up and you'll be able to get that combo started. When it comes to his special moves aren't that bad, but I would say like they do have some weird quirks to it. Like, for example, his down B is a dive kick, and his dive kick, don't get me wrong, it can be useful, but I think you're better off like using any of your other options. One thing I do like to use it for, which I'll show you now. All right, so first off, that's down special in the air, that's down special on the ground. So like you can either flip back out of it, or you can press it again. Wait. Oh, right. I forgot about that. All right, cool. Yeah, that's another thing. When you down special, you can go straight into neutral B if you mash it. I don't think there's much of a buffering system in this game, but I could be wrong. Number one. Number two, his neutral B, it's not the greatest move in the world. The things that you can accomplish with neutral B, you can accomplish with other moves in lesser time. But one thing I do think his neutral B is good at is when you want to get some kills off of like messing with somebody's timing. So like it's a good mix-up option. Ooh, that's spiked though. So his neutral B, I feel like it's a good mix-up option, because they don't know if you're just gonna hit them with hit one, if you're gonna hit them and go up and try and like juggle them or whatever. they don't know, like it, like you see what I'm saying? Like I think his neutral beat is best used as a mix-up option. And I also want to mention that, we'll mention and talk about his up B a little bit more in depth, but the surface level of what I think about his up B, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty weak because it does a little bit of damage. There's been times where I'll be right here on ledge and I'll drop down from ledge and up B, or actually it will be a little bit lower. You can do that and, you know, catch people when they're trying to like edge guard you and stuff like that. So yeah. Final verdict. Final verdict, his up B kind of good, but not really. So yeah, to sum it all up, his main strengths are that he has good neutral, he has very good disjoints that stick out a decent amount in front of him, which, like I said, allows him to have good neutral, allows him to jump around and swing sword until he gets a hit. Mostly weak down air, because weak down air, like I said, has a lot of combos. Speaking of combos, he's an absolute combo fiend. He's really good at comboing, especially like slower and larger characters, or when you're playing against somebody who you can predict a lot in neutral. He's pretty good. One thing I will say that I put it in strengths because for a sword character, he has good frame data, but compared to every other character in the game, he just has average frame data. So his frame data is closer to the strength side, and his kill moves, like for example, strong down air, standing strong, which is neutral strong. It's also standing strong. I forgot what game I got that from, but standing strong. And like two things I put in the category that, because I don't know his exact weight yet, and I would like to always like mention the weight in the strengths and weaknesses section. So his weight, and his combos are kind of awkward, like how I mentioned, for example, you have to light down air instead of down tilt to get like, I mean, not light down air, you have to dash attack instead of down tilt to get certain light combos. And like his two main weaknesses, I would want to say, is his recovery and his ground speed. It's past a little bit on the slower side. Like when he's on the ground, he's really limited, mostly because he can't move around on the ground as fast as I would want him to. So like he really has no choice but to jump in the air, but he's so significantly better in the air than versus on the ground that it's really not much of a handicap. It's more of like a necessity, more of like something that you had to do anyway. And yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say in terms of like specific strengths and weaknesses. And as a quick note as to where I think he's going to end up in the meta, I think he's going to be like a co-main. I think you're going to have to pick up another character to play with him, because something I also just realized that also goes in the weaknesses section is that he's not too good at dealing with projectiles head on, other than like I'm obviously excluding stuff like hitting projectiles back with your strong attacks and jumping over it with flip kick. But other than that, he really doesn't have many other options, like any unique options to himself, unless it's like matchup specific. He doesn't really have any unique options where he can like move around and jump around projectiles and stuff like that. So what'll happen is you'll end up getting hit by laggy weak projectiles that are doing more and more damage gradually over time and fucking you up. And that could be avoided if he was faster, but he's not. With that being said, peace out, y'all. Thank you for watching my day one Leonardo get. I don't even know what I was about to say.